In Alstyne, police arrested a man after a carjacking and pursuit this morning. Officers received a call that a suspect approached a man while he was standing by his car. The suspect threatened the victim with a firearm and demanded his car keys and money. When officers responded, they were unable to find the car. Around noon, the stolen vehicle was spotted in Anna, heading toward Alstyne. Officers initiated a traffic stop, but the suspect vehicle attempted to evade police, leading to a pursuit that took officers through the cities of Anna, Melissa, McKinney, Fairview, and Allen. The suspect, later identified as Manuel Jose Hernandez, abandoned the car and fled on foot, but was located and taken into custody without incident. Hernandez was booked into the Grayson County Jail and charged with aggravated robbery, evading arrest with a vehicle, and unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. The Garvin County Sheriff's Office